Live from Arkansas' streaming news leader, this is THV 11 Morning News at 7 on THV 11 Plus.
Welcome to THV 11 Plus. We're glad you're with us on 7 a.m. and Hayden is on assignment or en route to his assignment. You'll see him coming up. It's a good event and it's really fun that we'll get to see him and the weather's good for it. Traffic. Who knows?
He should be having trouble getting there right now.
Right, yeah, he should be okay on his way. He said, Baker Elementary is where he's headed, so no issues right now. Of course, a lot of people are going to be headed to Baker Elementary here in the next hour, so it's a good thing he's leaving right now. We are starting to see a few slowdowns. It is the 7 o'clock hour now, so let's take a look at what you can expect. In those slowdowns at the North Terminal interchange, really it's just 57 southbound right now. Let me show you how slowly it is moving. So just at 27 miles per hour there, it's a little bit backed up. It used to be 167, now 57 southbound around McCain. You can see how slowly it's moving. And then we're starting to see the typical slowdown on 30 eastbound, anywhere from about the 430 interchange to the Bryant exit almost. And so, right there through Alexander where it usually starts to back up. That's what we're seeing at 38 miles per hour right now. And I thought I had this pulled up for you, but let me just go ahead and we can look over here around Alexander and Bryant Parkway and see. So you see a lot of volume on the roadways right now. And here's what it looks like with our drive times into downtown Little Rock. Still looks pretty good coming in from Conway. We're starting to see those times increase coming in to downtown from Benton and Cabot. So Tracy, at least the weather isn't going to be an issue this morning. Like it was yesterday.
No, we do still have some breezy conditions out there and a few clouds, but no rain to speak of, and the winds, we're going to call it breezy and not windy like it was yesterday. We're going to start to continue to see those winds moving on out of here later this afternoon. As far as those clouds go, they're lingering a little bit, but we are seeing a little bit of a sunrise here and there. We'll start to see those break up here before long, but plenty of sunshine headed out today. But if you are about to walk out the door, grab that jacket. You're going to need it. It is 47 in the capital city, and again, those breeze out of the north-northwest around 10 miles per hour, so adding a little bite to the air there. Looking at mainly 40s across the state and a few little 30s here and there, but that wind chill here in Little Rock because of that wind is making it feel more like it's 42. It's impacting around Stuttgart too. The rest of the state not really seeing those breezy conditions, so really not too impactful, but it is a little cold out there. We're going to see a high today around 61, and as we're heading into Friday, Halloween is looking great. We're going to continue to see those 40s in the mornings and mid-60s for your Friday. Trick-or-treaters, I think it's going to be in the 50s. It's going to be a great night to have some fun. We'll talk more about this forecast and the potential for a little rain this weekend coming up.
Developing now, bad weather this week leaves a heartbreaking scene in Garland County. A woman died when a tree fell on her home while she was in bed. We spoke with neighbors this morning, still in shock. THV 11's Tamer Knight joins us from our studio now with the latest. Tamer.
Well, good morning, Karen. It was a windy day and night Tuesday with wind gusts reaching up to 40 miles per hour in some areas. Near Majestic Lounge Road in Garland County, just across the water from the city of Hot Springs. Late Tuesday night, first responders were called to a home after a large tree fell through the roof, pinning a 37-year-old wife and mother to her bed. The victim has been identified as Shannon Hobby, and sadly, she did not survive her injuries. Garland County Sheriff's deputies tells us the 911 call came from the victim's husband just after 11:30 p.m. Neighbors just a few houses down say they heard the wind but never imagined it would end in tragedy.
The wind was making noise that we heard, and it wasn't that long after that it happened. All the fire trucks and the ambulances and police cars, and it's devastating to happen to a neighbor.
The local Dollar Tree on Central Avenue is now raising money for the victim's family. Employees say the husband is a regular customer. Donations can be made by speaking with any manager on duty. The Garland County Sheriff's Office says their hearts go out to the victim's loved ones as the community rallies around them. For THV 11 News, I'm Tamer Knight.
Such a sad story. Thank you for that update, Tamer. And in Mayflower, Police Chief Douglas Hunter, you see him here, is announcing he's resigning from his position. He made that announcement on Wednesday on the Mayflower Police Department's Facebook page. In the statement, Hunter thanked the citizens for their support and said that changes and demands from the City Council were key reasons for his decision to leave. Time now 7:05. In a THV 11 update, President Trump is heading back home to Washington following a high-stakes sit-down with China's President Xi Jinping. The president says the two met for nearly 2 hours, calling the meeting friendly and saying both sides are closer to sealing a trade deal after settling several key issues. Before the meeting, President Trump also announced a major push to expand U.S. nuclear weapons testing. CBS correspondent Jared Hill has details.
President Trump wrapped up his week-long trip to Asia with a much-anticipated face-to-face with Chinese President Xi Jinping.
I think we're going to have a fantastic relationship for a long period of time.
At the top of the high-stakes sit-down, the Chinese leader acknowledged that the world's two largest economies don't always see eye to eye, but noted a need for some cooperation.
I always believe that China's development goes hand in hand with your vision to make America great again.
After the nearly 2-hour-long meeting, President Trump told reporters the two countries could sign a trade deal soon, announcing plans to immediately cut its extra tariff on Chinese goods from 20% to 10%, after Beijing agreed to do more to stop the flow of chemicals used to make fentanyl. But few other details, as Trump signaled they'd settled issues over China's rare earth mineral exports, and that the two discussed computer chips and China restarting U.S. soybean purchases, a move that would help struggling American farmers.
We're losing money, and it's a very desperate time.
Ahead of the meeting, President Trump wrote on social media that he's directed the Pentagon to conduct nuclear weapons tests. It follows North Korea's announcement that it test-launched cruise missiles a day earlier, as well as recent missile tests by Russia. Jared Hill, CBS News.
President Trump renewed his call for denuclearization last night, despite earlier threats to restart nuclear testing. He also said he's open to meeting with North Korea's leader, but he couldn't fit it into this trip. The president added that he and China's President Xi agreed to work together toward ending Russia's war on Ukraine. It is now day 30 of the government shutdown and still no signs of progress. The stalemate continues over whether to extend health care subsidies before reopening the government, leaving millions of federal workers without pay. Concerns continue as food assistance is set to run out by the end of this week. Republicans and Democrats remain divided over funding programs like WIC and SNAP after the USDA refused to tap into its emergency funds to keep them going. Major deadlines are also closing in. Troops are to be paid tomorrow, and by Saturday, food stamp benefits could expire, the same day that new health care premiums take effect. Meanwhile, food banks and farmers are scrambling to help fill the gap, but experts warn it won't be enough as the shutdown's impact deepens.
We are preparing for November to be our busiest month ever.
It's also at an entirely different scale. So for every meal that a food bank provides, SNAP is providing 9.
The Trump administration now says military pay will be covered again tomorrow. Here in Arkansas, concerns over food benefits are growing. State Senator Jamie Scott is urging Governor Sanders to issue a disaster proclamation to support SNAP recipients if federal funding runs out. Scott represents District 12, covering parts of Little Rock and North Little Rock, and says more than 350,000 Arkansans rely on SNAP, including more than 150,000 children. The city of Earl's mayor, Jalen Smith, also sent a certified letter to the governor Wednesday, echoing that same call for action. THV 11 has reached out to Governor Sanders' office for comment, but so far we have not heard it back. With growing concern over the likely loss of federal SNAP funding, Arkansas Blue Cross and Blue Shield is stepping up to help. The company is launching a food drive called Take Good Care. They're collecting non-perishable foods and personal care items through November 14th. A total of 7 welcome centers will span the state, and here you see them highlighted on your screen. All donations go to local food pantries and resource centers to help Arkansas families get through this unsettling period. Today, UA Little Rock is bringing leaders from around Arkansas for its College Hunger Summit, meant to find new ways to fight food insecurity on campuses. The CEO of Arkansas Hunger Relief Alliance, Kathy Webb, is to speak, and the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery will present a check to support efforts to end student hunger. Now let's check back in with Ashley King and a look at the roads right now.
Yeah, so 710, Karen, that means we're starting to see it get busy on our roads here in central Arkansas. And of course, the North Terminal Interchange and Interstate 30, that's where we start to see those slowdowns, and that is exactly what's happening. So let's get a closer look at exactly how slow it is going. 167, what is now 57 southbound at 29 miles per hour around McCain. And we'll get a look at that on our live traffic map in just a second. It was a little bit slow on 30 westbound a few minutes ago, but not too bad now. It's up to 52 miles per hour. And then getting slow around Alexander here on 30 eastbound, anywhere from the 430 interchange back to around the Bryant Parkway exit. So you can see it's moving pretty slowly there. Going back to 57 southbound, you can see we have a lot of volume on our roads, so that may impact your drive into downtown Little Rock a little bit if you're coming in from Jacksonville or Cabot this morning. And we can get a look at those drive times right now. It still looks pretty good coming in from Conway and Benton, but like I said, with those slowdowns there on 57 southbound, it's going to take you just a little bit longer to get to downtown Little Rock. From Cabot, 22 minutes right now if you're coming down Highway 5 or from the Highway 5 exit down 57 southbound. So Tracy, luckily the weather not causing any issues this morning. You said it's still a little bit breezy. It's definitely cooler, right?
Yeah, it feels very cold out there. Before you head out the door, grab those jackets. It's going to be a little gusty today, as far as not as bad as yesterday, which is great news, but we're still seeing those winds out of the north-northwest around 10 to 12, even 15 miles per hour. 47, you add in that wind, and that's making the wind chill feel even a little bit colder here in central Arkansas, feeling like 42 degrees. And the sun's not quite out yet. We're still seeing a lot of cloud cover, but it is going to move on out of here, I promise you. And we're going to see plenty of sunshine today, and looking for that high, warming us up to the lower 60s. It's going to feel great, and those winds will settle down a little bit later this afternoon. Again, not looking for anything like we had yesterday with that wind advisory. Now, the average today is usually around 68. We're staying well below that. Now, next week we'll start to bump up a little bit, but you know, I'm not complaining about low 70s in November. And those mornings ahead, again, 46 is where we should be. We'll stay somewhat below that, maybe bump up right to it. But we're going to have to watch for frost and maybe even a little freeze in the extreme northern portion of the state as we're heading into Friday morning. We'll talk more about that and look at some specific locations coming up.